Hey, this is Lily from Little Nature Art. Today I'm going to be testing 3 different papers to see how they hold up to water for making stickers. These are the papers. I'm going to test a matte and 2 glossies, and let's go and I'll explain the setup. So this is my little laboratory and my overseer. I'm trying to find sticker papers, and that will be vibrant colors, then also easy to do some sort of like waterproofing or making sure that my stickers will be water resistant. So what I have here today, I printed off the same sticker set of same paper. I printed off the same stickers in 3 different papers. I have matte from Inkjet Creative Media, and then 2 glossies, Homsto Buttercraft's glossy paper. Both are they both had in the description like waterproof or water resistant, and so I wanted to kind of take a look and see if there was any differences between any of them. These are the first papers I've bought, so I kind of figured buy a small pack of each one and then just do a little bit of exploring, and then in the future I can be confident of which paper I want to be ordering. And then I also tested out if it would be worthwhile to also laminate the stickers on top of potentially whatever water resistance comes with the paper themselves. I recently got into trying to make stickers from some of my artwork. I've always loved drawing animals. Getting to do something with my artwork afterwards has been a lot of fun. So I figured I'm going to be doing a little bit of experimenting with some papers, and instead of all of us having to do this ourselves, I figured I would try to record a little bit of the process. Also, hopefully this can inform some of your choices for what type of paper you want to use. So what I've done is, so far I've printed out my stickers and cut them with my Cricut. I have the same stickers printed on all of the papers, and then with the owl for each paper, I also applied this self-laminating sheets on it to see if that will help the water resistance of the sticker at all. The look of it does make the matte sticker look a little bit more, glossy, because it is kind of adding a glossy layer. Honestly, it doesn't look too different though for the glossies. They look fairly the same, and like it doesn't really add that much thickness, maybe a little bit, but not much. It was really easy to use though. Just like stick it over and then the Cricut still cut it out. What I did find also, which a lot of people I've read online, is the glossy papers. I cut this with a Cricut Air, and the matte paper, it didn't have any problem finding the guidelines or registration marks, but then the glossy paper did. So I don't have matte tape here, so I had to just do, like, I did sticky notes and redrew the lines, which took a little bit of time. So otherwise, I think in general I do like the colors that come out of the glossy better. They're just a little bit more crisp and clear. Don't know if you can tell on here. These are just the papers, no covering. These are obviously glossy, so they're shiny. But in addition, in real life, the mattes just turn out a little bit darker. I still like the general color. And so once again, the owls in each set have the self-laminating sheets. So here we go. A little helper here. That was not very helpful, Felix. Then I don't need a laminator. Whoop. So it's a little tippy, and Felix likes to walk on things. So this is the cup I'm going to use. It's actually the old cup from like something I got for my fish tank was in here, but I figure it's see-through and small, and I didn't want to put it on an actual cup just in case I can't get them off. So I'm just going to put them in hopefully in ordered fashion so I can keep track of which one's which. I'm doing the owls because I say those have the self-laminating sheets on them for each paper. And then I'll probably do this little logo of mine, just because this is kind of a small cup. I'm going to start with this one, which is the matte. You can see that I don't think I had the settings quite right on my Cricut because it kind of tore a little bit there. Nice. Yep, perfect. Yeah, so the tore part was left behind on the sheet. Here's my little owl. It turned out one of my favorites for my drawings this last year. This is the matte one. The laminating sheet makes it look so shiny and bright. this is the Homsto. Looks, as I'm trying to peel up the sticker, it looks like the laminating sheet is actually coming up a little bit also, so I'll have to see how that affects the test. Okay, and the buttercress. Okay, so making sure that these are all pushed down. Gosh, this is so fun. They feel so cool. It's like making stickers is just like its own little like hobby craft, and I really enjoyed kind of experimenting with everything. So this is going to also be the matte. So this doesn't have the lamination at all. So this is also going to be left to right then. One down. Two down. I think potentially the Glossy is a little stickier without the lamination sheet. This feels a little bit sticky. Kind of like not completely dried paint where it's nothing actually is going to come off. But so there is our cup of testers. I'll go get the water. Trying to protect my bed just a little bit. So I have the water filled up about halfway, if you can see it in here. I'm just going to start out by, I guess, just dunking them. I'm anticipating that this matte one, that I mean is basically just paper, it's probably going to disintegrate first. This is the matte with the lamination. No bleeding. This is the Homsto with the lamination. No bleeding, not even in that little corner where it seemed like it was peeling up. And this is the buttercress. So it looks good. This is the matte then without lamination. So it looks fine, and same with these. So I'd say they're definitely like water resistant at least. Let's see what happens if I put a little pressure drying them off. Felix is an avid fish hunter, so when she heard the water sloshing around in here, she had to come check it out. I kind of figured that this would, it's like, you know, like when you wash a bottle and the label kind of pills up and disintegrates. I was expecting that to happen, but it didn't. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, so if you just get the matte and do absolutely nothing, you're still pretty indestructible. Okay, so now I'm going to, I guess, do a little bit more pressure. Dang. I'm truly impressed. I wonder if after a little, like, the water would seep underneath, because like the lamination sheet too is only just on the top, so like the little bit of thickness that a sticker has is still exposed. But maybe this paper is better than I anticipated. It's hard, you know, like when you read reviews, because everyone has a different expectation for like what waterproof means or what durability is. I'm honestly impressed with all of them. You can see like where the water is just beating up on the top instead of soaking in. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any damage on any of them. Guess that means we're pretty much free to get whatever paper we want. Like, still just waiting for this one to start crumbling, but it's not. Wow. So I was definitely not expecting this. But yeah, they all pretty much feel the same now. But I didn't really like the feeling of the Glossy without the lamination sheet when it was dry. And I also could kind of tell too, like in my little sticker pile, that like, yeah, you know, like this isn't just because my hands are wet, but it might be a little exaggerated because my hands are wet. Even after it's dried, it doesn't look like anything is bled or the water soaked into the sticker at all, so still good. So I think overall, I'd say I truly couldn't tell a difference between any of them as far as like their resistance to water. I just personally didn't really like the stickiness of the Glossy without the laminating sheets. So I wouldn't do that by itself. One thing is with the matte paper, if you only put the laminating sheet directly on the sticker and not on the registration marks, then you don't, my Cricut didn't have any problem, you know, reading it because the registration mark is still just on normal paper. So a workaround to not having to deal with the registration mark registering problem and having to tape it or redraw over the lines could be just to do the matte paper with a lamination sheet over it, and then you'd be set. Adding the lamination sheet to the mat does kind of make the colors a little bit more vibrant also. So it didn't feel like there was that big of a difference at the end. I suppose I could put it like the dishwasher or something. So after the dishwasher, all of the owls with a lamination sheet still look good, but the two glossies without the lamination sheet, they lost the color quite a bit. The matte one actually surprisingly still looks fine, but I would definitely go with the lamination. Most of these ones are mine that I use the matte with the lamination sheet over, and yeah, I've been using them on here for about a month, and they're all holding up really well. I've hand washed this water bottle a couple times since, and I bring it out in the field and they're still water resistant. So yeah. That wraps up what I wanted to test, so I'd be happy with how all of these setups held up to the water. For the stickiness of the Glossy without the lamination sheets, I would probably avoid that. But I was really impressed overall. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have any tips or tricks that you found as well for creating stickers. Otherwise, unless Felix has any parting words, I'll see you next time.